of headlights cut through the darkness and briefly illuminated her. Carol sat up as a swoopy midnight blue Mercedes sedan pulled in behind her Jeep. Of all the gin joints in all the world, she thought. She watched a tall, dark-haired man step out of his car and walk toward her. It had to be after 2 a.m, yet Mathias Mitchell looked more alert than sleepy. No doubt the lingering effects of the hunt, takedown, and getting laid. He stopped a few feet from her. It was too dark for her to read his expression, but if she had to guess, she would say he was amused. Mathias seemed to find the world a delightful place. She supposed, given who he was, with his combination of good looks, easy charm, and career success, there was no reason he should think otherwise. To mix metaphors and cliches, the world was his oyster, and Mathias dined well. She, on the other hand, was simply a woman with looks and a personality as ordinary as her name. "Lose a contact lens?" he asked dryly. "Bronwyn hurt herself, so I had to go check on her. On my way back, I stopped to look at the stars." He sank down next to her and raised his gaze to the sky. "Why not wait until you got home?" "This is the best view in the area." "Because you've tried them all?" He sighed. "You're an odd woman, Carol Lund. Who's Bronwyn? One of the zebras?" "Gazelle." "Fancy name for a cow." Carol felt her lips twitch and was grateful he couldn't see her trying not to smile. The conversation was familiar. Unlike most of the citizens of Happily Inc., Mathias had no romantic notions about the animals grazing just outside of town. "Gazelles aren't cows." "They're close. Oh, I'll give you that they're more elegant. Probably faster, too, but still, under their pretty outsides, they're cows. Just like your precious Millie." Carol glared at him. "Don't you say that. Millie's wonderful." "I'm not saying anything about her character, just pointing out that despite her being adorable and very tall, she is, in fact, a ruminant." He leaned close enough for her to smell the perfume clinging to his body. "Which makes her just like a cow," he added in a stage whisper. She waved her hand in front of her face. "There's a smell." Mathias nodded. "Yeah, she did get a little heavy with the scent." "Did the big boobs compensate?" "I'm not actually a breast man. My requirements are more about general appeal." "If she's slutty, you're in?" She cleared her throat. "So to speak." "You wound me. There's a process." "Not a very good one. You really need to shower before you go to bed tonight, or your sheets are going to reek." "Excellent advice. Thank you." "My neighbor, the man whore." She made the statement without a whole lot of energy, mostly because there was no point. Almost nothing ruffled him. Despite what he did for a living, he was the opposite of a brooding artist. Except for his questionable taste in sexual partners, there was little not to like about Mathias, and she had to admit that in her heart of hearts, she was a fan. "Have you considered that nearly all the derogatory terms about a person being promiscuous are directed at women?" He glanced at her. "Slut, whore. We have to modify them to make them apply to a man." "What about a player or a sugar daddy?" "No guy minds being called a player, and I'm not sure any human has used the term sugar daddy since 1979. She chuckled. "That's not true. People say it all the time." He looked at her but didn't speak. "Okay, maybe not all the time, but lots." Carol, 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 you are such an innocent." "That must be refreshing after a night with one of your women." "It is, although I have to say, I don't understand your dislike of bridesmaids." "I don't dislike them. I simply don't understand what you see in them, or what they see in you." The last was a lie. Mathias was funny enough to be charming and sexy enough to be irresistible. She would admit that even she had had the odd fantasy or two about him. Not that she would ever bother to act. She knew her place in the world. She was the plain peahen, while Mathias was the classic peacock. There was no reason for him to notice her, and even if he somehow did, he only did one-night stands, and that had never been her thing. She was much more a fall-in-love-first kind of girl. "What I see in them is that they'll be gone in the morning," he said as he stood. "As for what they see in me, isn't that..."